So induction motor. So well, this is called a stator winding. Okay, this is called stator, and this is called stator core and slots. In the slots, so the windings used like this. The windings placed on the core of stator like this. Okay. So when we are giving the power supply to the induction motor, so we are giving the power supply to the induction motor to the stator winding only. So the induction motor's stator winding is only excited. Rotor winding is not excited by external power supply. Understood? Only stator winding is excited by external power supply. This winding is excited by only external power supply. The rotor winding is not excited by external power supply. So that's why induction machine is called as a single excited machine. Single excited, just like a transformer. Transformer is also called as a single excited machine. Only one side is excited, another side is connected load. That's why transformer is called single excited device. So same as induction motor is also singly excited. So we are giving the power supply to the stator winding. So only this winding is excited, and the rotor is excited with the induction principle. So because of induction, uh, only the EMF current and torque is developed in this rotor. Okay, based on induction only this EMF current and torque force developed in the rotor, and the rotor is rotating according to the Lorentz law and also Faraday's law. According to the Faraday's law, this rotor is rotating. So in the direction of same as rotating magnetic field. If the rotating magnetic field is rotating in a clockwise direction, the windings are not rotating. Okay, understood? Winding is stationary, but magnetic field is rotating. This magnetic field is rotating in a stator. Okay, the speed of the magnetic field is called synchronous speed. Try to understand, try to consider the speed of the rotating magnetic field of a stator magnetic field is called the speed of the rotating magnetic field is called synchronous speed. Understood? We are giving the power supply to the stator, and then winding is excited. So we are giving the three-phase supply. We have to give the three-phase supply to the induction machine. This is called a three-phase induction machine. Okay. So in three-phase induction machine only, the magnetic field is rotating. In single-phase induction machine, magnetic field is not rotating. So by special arrangement is required in a single-phase induction machine, but in three-phase induction machine is not required. At least two windings are compulsory to produce the rotating magnetic field. At least a minimum two windings, two phases are required. But in a single phase, only one phase. So that's why this rotating magnetic field is there is no rotating magnetic field is developed in this single phase induction motor. But okay, by using special construction in a single phase induction motor, we have to rotate the magnetic field in the stator. But here, the external connection is not, external equipment is not required to produce the rotating magnetic. Just we are giving the power supply to the stator winding, and the magnetic field is rotated in the stator winding itself. Okay. External arrangement, special arrangement not required in a three-phase induction motor to rotate magnetic field. Okay. So if we are giving the power supply to this, okay, this winding is excited by external magnetic field. The winding is excited by the external three-phase supply. So when you are giving the three-phase supply to this motor, and this winding is excited, and this scalar magnetic field is rotating. Okay, so like this manner, the magnetic field is this called stator winding, not rotor. Okay, the magnetic field is rotating at a synchronous speed. Okay, the speed of rotating magnetic field is called synchronous speed. Understood? So like this, the magnetic field is rotating. Okay, this is called rotating magnetic field RMF. So how the magnetic field is rotating, we have to discuss. Okay, so this concept you have to discuss by using one PDF. Okay, phase for three-phase supply. Okay, R phase is starting from at 0 onwards. After 120 degrees, B phase will start. After 240 degrees, B phase. After 120 degrees, Y phase, and after 120 degrees, that means after 240 degrees, B phase, R phase, Y phase, B phase, started like this manner. So this is called 3 phases supply. Okay, well, I'm already explained this concept about 3 phase. Okay, how these 3 phases are distributed. Right. So here I'm taking as a notation A, B, C instead of R, Y, B. Okay, I'm taking the notation. So R, Y, C. So E is equal to EM sin omega t. Okay, this derivation is already completed. EA is equal to EM max sin omega t, and EB is equal to, that is called R phase. For example, this is R phase. ER is equal to E max sin omega t. EY is equal to E max sin omega t minus 120. Okay, then EB is equal to R by B. For example, if you are R by B, so these are the rotations. EB is equal to EM sin omega t plus 120 or minus 240. Understood? Minus 240 or plus 120 also same. So for this, I'm taking notation in this PDF. The notations are taken EBC, ABC phase sequence, or otherwise R by B phase sequence also valid. Okay, for ABC phase sequence, EAB is equal to EA is equal to E max sin omega t, EB is equal to E max sin omega t minus 120, and AC is equal to E max sin omega t minus 240 or plus 120. Okay, both are same. Okay, so this EMF is developed in the stator winding is proportional to the flux per pole. So that's why the flux distribution is also sinusoidal. The flux distribution in the stator winding is also sinusoidal. So this flux are displaced by like this. Pi x is equal to pi m sin omega t. Okay, all of you write this is pi x is equal to pi m sin omega t. Pi y is equal to pi m sin omega t minus 120 degrees, and pi z is equal to pi m sin omega t minus 240 degrees. So like this, the fluxes are all distributed in a 120 degrees phase displacement. So pi x, I'm taking a notation pi x in this direction. So pi y and pi z. Okay. So pi x, pi y, pi z. Understood? Anti-clockwise direction. Pi x first, and then pi y and pi z. So pi x, pi m sin omega t, I'm taken as a reference. After 120 degrees, pi y is starting. Pi y is equal pi m sin omega t minus 120 degrees, and after 120 degrees, that is nothing but 240 degrees. So pi m is equal, pi z is equal pi m sin omega t minus 240 degrees. So like this, the three fluxes are distributed. Okay. First pi m sin omega t, then after 120 pi y, after 120 pi z. So like this, flux distribution takes place. Okay. So substitute. So we have to find the resultant flux direction. So what is the resultant flux in this stator winding at particular instant? Okay. At a particular instant, we have to find the what is the resultant flux on the stator winding. It's clear. At particular distance, at a particular instant. So what is the resultant flux in this stator? Okay. At omega t is equal to 0, I'm taking the first instant omega t is equal to 0. This is the condition. Try to consider. At omega t is equal to 0. Okay. At omega t is equal to 0. So what is the resultant flux direction? Try to focus on this. At omega t is equal to 0, what is the resultant flux direction? So substitute omega t is equal to 0 in this equation. Omega t is equal to 0. Sin 0, 0. Then pi x is equal to 0. Am I right? Pi x is equal to 0. And then similarly, substitute omega t is equal to 0 in this equation. Pi y is equal to pi m sin omega t minus 120. No? Substitute in this. So pi m sin of minus 120. Am I right? Pi m sin of minus 120. That is nothing but minus root 3 by 2 pi m. Am I right or not? Pi y is equal to pi m sin of minus 120 is equal to minus root 3 by 2 pi m. Am I right? And pi z also similarly, pi z is equal to pi m sin omega t minus 240 degrees. No? Substitute omega t is equal to here, 0. Omega t is equal to 0 here. So then we will get pi z is equal to pi m sin omega t. Sin of minus 240, then that but root 3 by 2 pi m. Understood? So these are the three different types of phases. At particular instant, omega t is equal to 0. Okay, understood? It's clear. At omega t is equal to 0, but so we have to find the what is the resultant flux at omega t is equal to 0. Okay, that by substituting omega t is equal to 0 in this equation. Okay, so we'll get these are the different type of results. At pi x is equal to 0 and pi y is equal to minus root 3 by 2 pi m and pi z is equal to plus root 3 by 2 pi m. This is the three different types of fluxes in the different type of phases. Pi x is equal to 0, pi y is equal to minus root 3 by 2 pi m and pi z is equal to root 3 by 2 pi m. Am I right? And then what is the resultant flux? How to find the resultant flux? Here pi x is equal to 0. Okay, there is no use of this. That means the resultant flux is phasor sum of pi y. That is nothing but minus pi y. Am I right? Pi y is equal to minus root 3 by 2. That is nothing but minus pi y is equal to root 3 by 2 pi m. Na? Okay, the phasor sum of minus pi y and pi z is called resultant flux pi r. Okay, phasor sum of minus pi y and pi z is called resultant flux pi r. Okay, how to get the phasor sum of is by using phasor diagram. So this pi x is equal to 0, pi y is in this direction. Understood? So try to consider here. Pi x is equal to 0 here. There is no flux here in this direction. Okay, this flux pi x is equal to 0. It's clear? This flux of pi x is equal to 0. At omega t is equal to 0 instant, this there is no this flux. Okay, phasor. Pi x phasor, there is no pi x phasor. So what is the pi y here? Pi y is equal to minus root 3 by 2 pi m. No? So minus root 3 by 2 pi m. So that is called root 3 by 2. Approximately what? So pi x is equal to 0. That means this there is no phasor. This pi x is equal to 0. Okay, and then pi y. Pi y is equal to, so what is the pi y here? Minus root 3 by 2 pi m. At omega t is equal to 0, pi y is equal to minus root 3 by 2 pi m. That is called 0.866. That means 86% only. So we'll get so pi y is equal to, so opposite direction of the pi y. So but how much length? 0.86. That is called root 3 by 2 pi m. This is called pi y is equal to root 3 by 2 pi m. This opposite direction of the pi y. This is minus pi y. Na? Pi y is equal to minus root 3 by 2 pi m. That's why this is called positive side. Pi x, pi y, and pi z. So minus pi y is nothing but opposite direction. So how much of this magnitude? Root 3 by 2 pi m. Okay. And then similarly, so what is the pi z here? So what is the pi z? What is the pi z here? Pi at omega t is equal to 0 plus root 3 by 2 pi m. So that's why, so like this, you will get like this. Pi z is equal to in this direction. So root 3 by 2 pi m. Okay. Root 3 by 2 pi m. Pi x is equal to 0 at the instant of omega t is equal to 0. So pi x is 0. So that's why this is not required. Okay. The resultant phasor is an addition of pi y and pi z. Minus pi y and pi z. The resultant phasor is nothing but in this direction. Okay. The resultant phasor only in this direction. Okay. This is called a resultant phasor pi r. Okay. So addition of these two. Addition of phasor sum of this and pi z and phasor sum of minus pi y is called resultant flux pi r. Understood? So pi r is nothing but according to the parallelogram, this length and this length is same, and you have to find the, so this how much of distance according to the parallelogram. You know well, that is called root 2a cos alpha by 2, 2a cos theta by 2. You know well. Okay. So how much of angle between these two? 60 degrees, 30 and 30. 60 degrees. And so what is the length of the resultant phasor pi r? Nothing but 2a cos alpha by 2 or theta by 2, 2a cos theta by 2. The theta is nothing but 60 degrees, and a is called this length pi m by 2, root 3 by 2 pi m. Okay. By substituting this value, so the resultant flux is, so we'll get like this. So this is the called resultant phasor. Start to consider. Pi r is equal to 2a cos alpha by 2. 2a cos alpha by 2, that is cos theta by 2 otherwise. Okay, resultant flux is nothing but according to the parallelogram, you know well. So the distance of pi r is nothing but 2 into, so root 3 by 2 pi m. So this length root 3 by 2 and into angle between these two, so 60 degrees. Okay, so that is root 3 by 2 pi m into cos of 60 by 2. So we will get 1.5. Understood? 1.5 times of pi m. This is called our main concept. Okay, so this is called 1.5 times of pi m. The resultant flux is nothing but 1.5 pi m, and it will be in the direction of so like this. So what is the direction of the resultant flux in this at omega t is equal to 0? So this is the direction. The resultant flux in the direction at omega t is equal to 0 instant. Understood? At omega t is equal to 0 instant. Okay, this is the resultant flux direction. Understood? This is the resultant flux direction. This is the resultant flux direction at omega t is equal to 0 instant. It's clear? And then similarly way, so we have to find the resultant flux direction at omega t is equal to 0 is over, and then at second instant omega t is equal to 30. Okay, at omega t is equal to 30 degrees. Substitute here at omega t is equal to 0, case 1 is over. At instant omega t is equal to 30 degrees over, and at instant omega t is equal to 30 degrees, all of you substitute omega t is equal to 30 degrees, and then 3 flux is given by pi x is equal to, substitute here 30 degrees. Pi x is equal to pi m sin 30 sin 30. Am I right? Pi x is equal to pi m sin 30. Pi y is equal to pi m sin 30 minus 120. 30 minus 240 degrees. Substitute 3 values. Pi x is equal to pi m sin 30. Pi m by 2. Okay. Pi x is equal to pi m sin by 2. So we'll get like this. Pi x is equal to pi m sin omega 2. Sin 30, you know well. So 1 by 2. So pi m by 2. And by substituting 30 degrees and pi y is pi y is equal to pi m sin of minus 190 degrees. It's nothing but so minus pi m. And similarly, so after substituting 30 minus 240, nothing but minus 210, you will get pi m. Okay. So then the phasor sum of pi x and pi y and pi z minus pi y. Okay, pi x and you are getting minus now. That's why pi x and minus pi y and pi z is called resultant flux pi r. Is clear? Resultant flux is nothing but addition of these two. Phasor sum of all these two is called the resultant flux pi r. Okay. First, we have to find the resultant sum of phasor flux, sum of phasor pi x and pi z is called pi r dash. Let us assume. Try to consider here. So let us assume phasor sum of pi x and pi z is called pi x and pi z is called pi r dash. Okay, let us assume. First, we have to find the phasor sum of pi x and pi z. Then we have to find and phasor sum of pi y and pi r dash. And then resultant flux is called pi r. Understood? First, we have to find the phasor sum of pi x and pi z. That resultant of these two is called pi r dash. And pi r dash and pi y, the resultant of these two is called pi r. Okay, resultant flux. First, we have to find the phasor sum of pi r and pi z. So by substituting this, this called pi x is equal to pi m by 2, pi y is equal to minus pi m, pi z is equal to pi m by 2. No? So this second phasor diagram. First one, pi x is equal to pi m sin by 2, pi m by 2. No? First one. So what is that? First one, pi x is equal to pi m by 2. Am I right? This call at omega t is equal to 30 degrees instant. Pi x is equal to pi m by 2. And then pi y is equal to minus pi m. Pi y is equal to minus pi m. So pi y is equal to minus pi m. So to draw this pi y. So minus pi m, pi y. So pi y is in this direction. This minus pi y. Pi y is equal to minus pi m. Pi y is equal to minus pi m or minus pi y. This is actually flux pi y is in the direction. Opposite of x or this magnitude is called minus pi y. That is called minus pi. And then pi z, how to draw the pi z? Pi z is equal to pi m by 2. Okay. So that's why pi z is equal to, so pi m by 2. Pi x is equal to pi z is equal to pi m by 2. Okay. Pi x is equal to pi m by 2. So same as our same reference direction, but it is having some magnitude pi m by 2, 50%. And then pi y is equal to minus pi m. By substituting omega d is equal to 30 degrees, you will get like this. Okay, minus pi y. And pi b is equal to pi z is equal to pi m by 2. So the resultant of these two is called pi z, and pi x is called, the resultant of these two is called pi r dash. Try to consider the resultant of these two. The resultant of these two is called pi z, and pi x is called pi r dash. The resultant of, understood? The resultant of, first I'm taking a resultant of pi z and pi x is called pi r dash. This is called pi r dash. And then this pi r dash and pi y is called another resultant. That is called pi r, resultant flux. It's clear. So first, by substituting omega d is equal to 30 degrees, so pi m by 2, same as a reference, but 50% is the magnitude of this. So like this. So in this direction, pi m by 2. And then pi y is equal to minus pi by pi m. No? Pi y is equal to minus pi m. That's why. So in this much of magnitude, pi y is equal to minus pi. Opposite, exactly pi y in this direction, pi y minus pi y in this direction. And then similarly, pi z is equal to pi m by 2. Am I right? So same way, pi z is equal to pi m by 2. So the resultant of pi x and pi z is called pi r dash. Phasor sum of pi x and pi z is called pi r dash. So that is called 2a cos alpha by 2, 2a cos theta by 2. The resultant of these two is called 2a cos alpha by 2. So it is along this minus pi by only. Okay. So the resultant is nothing but in this direction. This resultant here, the resultant of these two is called so pi r dash. Understood? So pi r dash is called 2a cos alpha by 2. So we have to find by using that form. 2 into pi m by 2 into, okay, cos alpha by 2, but 120 degrees. Angle between these two, how much here? Year to year. Angle between these two. Angle here, year to year. So what is the angle between these two? 120 degrees. Am I right? Okay. So by substituting this angle, so we'll get like this. Pi m by 2. Pi r dash is nothing but 2a cos alpha by 2. So 2 into pi m by 2 into cos angle in between pi z and pi r dash, pi z and pi x is nothing but 120 degrees. And then you will get pi m by 2. And the resultant of pi r dash and pi y is called our resultant pi r, flux pi r. Phasor sum of pi r dash and minus pi y. So these two are along the same direction. That's why. So pi r dash and minus pi y. So same in this direction. That's why directly adding together. So we'll get a resultant flux. Understood? By adding this two, so we'll get a direct resultant flux pi r by adding these two phasors, pi r dash and pi y. So that is called pi r is equal to pi r dash. How much pi r dash? Pi m by 2. And pi r, pi y minus pi y is equal to pi m. So then pi m by 2 plus pi m 1.5. Okay. Times of pi m. Understood? So in this way we are getting the resultant flux. Okay. The resultant flux is called pi r is equal to 1.5 of 1.5 times of, okay, pi m. That means at omega t is equal to 0, at this instant, resultant flux is nothing but 1.5 times of pi m. Understood? At omega t is equal to 30 degrees, okay, the resultant flux is nothing but pi r, nothing but 1.5 times of pi m. But the direction of the resultant flux is different. Here the resultant flux direction at omega t is equal to 0, this instant at omega t is equal to 0, this at first instant. Okay. So this is our actual So we are concentrating on this first phase. At omega t is equal to 0. So what is the resultant flux direction? In this direction, na? Okay. So in this direction, the resultant flux direction will be in this direction. At omega t is equal to 0. First case. And then at omega is equal to t is equal to 30 degrees. What is the resultant flux direction? At omega t is equal to 30 degrees. So this is the resultant flux direction. Okay. Similarly, substitute omega t is equal to 60 degrees also. Substitute omega t is equal to 60 degrees. Okay. So find the resultant flux direction at omega t is equal to 60 degrees, 30 degrees over, and then 60 degrees. Omega t is equal to 60 degrees. And it's instant 3. This is a different type of instant. First instant and second instant and third instant and fourth instant. At first instant, omega t is equal to 0. At second instant, at omega t is equal to 30 degrees. At the third instant, omega t is equal to 60 degrees. At the fourth, omega t is equal to 90 degrees. Okay. At omega t is equal to 60 degrees. Otherwise, 90 degrees also 60 degrees. Substitute omega t is equal to 60 degrees in this equation. Omega t is equal to in this pi r is equal to pi m sin omega t. In this, substitute omega t is equal to 60. Omega t is equal to 60. Substitute all of you, and then you will get these are the different type of phases. Same as 30 degrees. Pi x is equal to root 3 by 2 pi m. Okay, sin 60 root 3 by 2 pi m, and pi y is equal to pi m sin omega t minus 120. Na? 60 minus 120 nothing but minus 60. That is called minus root 3 by 2 pi m. And pi z is equal to pi m sin omega t. That is 60 minus 240 is nothing but minus 180. It is equal to 0. These are the three different types of resultants we have to observe. Okay. At omega t is equal to 60 degrees. Understood? All of you rejoin again.